former President Trump earning a legal win in the Mar-a-Lago documents probe. Judge Eileen Cannon formally appointing this special master and rejecting a Justice Department demand. In her order, Judge Cannon ruled the government's motion for a partial stay pending appeal filed on September the 8th is, quote, denied. She continues that Honorable Raymond J. Dearie, Senior United States District Judge for the Eastern District of New York, is hereby appointed to serve as special master in the case. Of course, Dearie was also appointed as a district judge, you may know, by President Reagan in 1986. He served on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, which oversees very sensitive national security cases. A little bit of controversy. We'll get into that and why he may have signed off on the Carter Page warrant. However, in one nod to the DOJ, Cannon ordered President Trump to shoulder the full cost of Dearie's review. So let's get into this a little bit deeper. Our senior correspondent John Huddy joins me more on the judge's ruling. And obviously, both sides agreed to Judge Dearie, so not a surprise there, but maybe a little bit more of, her wording on how she appointed him.
Right, and the DOJ didn't push back on this. In fact, they said, hey, this guy's a good choice. If you have to appoint a special master, they're not happy about that, but they acquiesced as far as the appointment of Dearie. And there's really two main headlines here. The first is that, as you talked about, Judge Cannon denied the DOJ's request to continue its review of the 100-plus classified documents that federal agents seized, of course, last month during the raid at Mar-a-Lago. And then the second, that she appointed Judge Raymond Dearie as special master per the Trump's legal team's request. Now, Judge Dearie, and you kind of went over a little bit of this, Bianca, in the intro, is a well-respected veteran judge appointed by President Reagan back in 1986 to serve in the Eastern District of New York, which is based out of Brooklyn. Judge Dearie also served a 7-year term on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, or FISA, as it's known. And it was actually Judge Dearie who signed off on the warrant to surveil Carter Page, who is an advisor to former President Trump. This is part of the FBI's investigation into alleged Russian interference in the 2016 presidential campaign. Now, the expectation is that Judge Dearie will perform his duties as special master expeditiously and fairly. And actually, looking at the order right now, Judge Cannon said she directed the special master to prioritize review of the approximately 100 documents marked as classified and the papers attached to it. So basically, she's saying, really prioritize this. And if there's anything significant that comes out of it, get back to me on it. In regard to the DOJ's arguments that pausing the criminal investigation could cause, quote unquote, irreparable harm to national security, Judge Cannon, in her 10-page order filed last night, disagreed, writing in part, let's go down to that. There's been no actual suggestion by the government of any identifiable or emergency or imminent disclosure of classified information arising from plaintiffs, that being former President Trump, alleged unlawful retention of the seized property. Instead, and unfortunately, the unwarranted disclosures that float in the background have been leaks to the media after the underlying seizure. So she's really taking a shot there, obviously, at the DOJ and the FBI for these leaks that came out, during the process of all this. It's
a really important note there, and obviously very another win for the Trump campaign here, it looks like, with this new filing. So,
right.
We're watching more details as they come out today and what the DOJ may do. They still have that possibility to appeal.
Well, they said they would to the 11th Circuit.
Yeah.
And also they could file an emergency injunction to basically stop this. But, we'll see. Stay tuned.
A lot of moving parts. John Huddy, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, joining us now to break down the decision is constitutional law attorney, former legal counsel to President Trump, Jenna Ellis. Jenna, as always, great to have you in.
Great to see you, Bianca. Thanks.
All right, so, let's go birds, 30,000 square view here. So the order basically says she's worried about media leaks. Talking about seized materials. She also says, Jenna, that the court doesn't find it appropriate to accept the government's conclusions on these important and disputed issues without further review by this neutral third party, i.e. Dearie, and we'll get into him. But basically, she didn't buy the DOJ's argument that they were intertwined. They needed to continue their investigation. So now this continues to slow it, doesn't it?
Yes, and Judge Cannon properly articulated that she had serious concerns about the DOJ's ability, or I think more likely prejudice, with their ability to segregate and properly classify all of these documents. And so this does warrant a special master in this case. And so she's properly allowing for President Trump's constitutionally protected rights to be reviewed and to make sure that the DOJ isn't overstepping here. And she also does take that shot at the DOJ, which is leaking all of these other allegations, this photo that you're putting up. And so really now the burden is going to be on them to show why this is really an emergency. I mean, come on, this is 2 years almost later, and now they're saying, oh, this is suddenly an emergency. They have a special master reviewing. She's not buying it, nor are the American people.
All right, let's get into this selection here for the special master, Raymond Dearie, 78-year-old judge. We know he served on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court for 7 years. There's been a lot of talk since he was one of the judges who signed off on warrants that the FBI used to surveil the 2016 campaign aide Carter Page. But you're saying this should not be a red flag at all, because we later discovered that there was obviously the DOJ investigators, that FBI lawyer altered an email to support surveillance. So you say Dearie can actually be a really good pick here. Can you explain?
Yeah, absolutely. And so Dearie actually has experience being misled by the DOJ and the FBI. So if anyone, he is going to have more of a heightened awareness of his responsibilities as a special master to hold them accountable. So I think he's absolutely the perfect choice, not only his background and experience, but also with the Carter Page issue. And so there's been a lot of talk and speculation that because he signed off on that Carter Page warrant, that somehow that would put him opposed or antagonistic to Trump. But I think exactly the opposite, because it came out that the DOJ and the FBI misled that court. Any judge in similar circumstances likely would have also signed off on it. So he's actually going to be looking at the DOJ with a lot heightened scrutiny here and making sure that he classifies appropriately. So I don't think those concerns are warranted.
Yeah, and the DOJ obviously had the court had to agree to somebody. So this is the judge, I guess they, said would be the most fair. What does the DOJ do now? Because we know that they had talked about appealing to the 11th Circuit if Cannon didn't grant the stay. That deadline was yesterday. It's come and passed. So outside of the special master, that also could move forward. What do you think will happen?
It could. I mean, the DOJ is probably looking at all of its legal options, but if they choose to file an appeal, that would only further delay, showing that they really don't have some sort of emergency here. And so the best move for them is to simply acquiesce to the special master, allow the process to work itself out. And listen, Merrick Garland said that he was all in favor of transparency and making sure that the DOJ and the FBI are doing its job. And so this is exactly the point and purpose of a special master.
Yeah, and Trump has been outspoken. He has a rally tomorrow in Ohio, which we'll be covering. Expect to hear more from him possibly on this. He is footing the bill for this. Cannon did say if he wants special master, he'll pick up the tab. Obviously, he has no problem doing that, or his legal team doesn't. It seems like fair, and he's willing to do that because obviously he wants transparency too.
Absolutely. And, this is no different than anyone paying for their own lawyer to make sure that their constitutionally protected rights are intact. And I do anticipate that at tomorrow's rally, we're going to hear a lot more from President Trump. I was actually with him in the Pennsylvania rally with Senator Doug Mastriano, who's running for governor of Pennsylvania. He had a lot to say about that and disclosed there that even his son, his minor son, Barron's room was raided by the FBI. So, there are a lot of things still coming out about this, a lot of questions. And I think the special master here is the exact appropriate move.
Let's leave that to the side. We know he has until November 8th. That's the deadline to sort through some of those documents. We'll obviously be following that. But Jenna, real quick, migrants arriving in different sanctuary cities have been, a hot button issue the past 2 days. I want to get your thoughts on Governor Newsom of California. He actually wants the DOJ to investigate possible kidnapping charges, against DeSantis and Abbott. He wrote a letter here to Merrick Garland. I mean, this just seems preposterous. They're here illegally, so how are they being kidnapped?
Right. It is comical. And the fact that Democrats like Gavin Newsom are now suddenly outraged that there are illegal migrants in their own cities. Why isn't Gavin Newsom's letter to the DOJ a letter instead to Ron DeSantis and to Governor Abbott saying, hey, California is an entire sanctuary city. Bring them here. We have no problems. And so the Democrats are just showing their hypocrisy here. And this is a brilliant move by Ron DeSantis and Governor Abbott as well to say, listen, these are your policies. What are you going to do about it? It's absolutely comical. And, I've got my popcorn ready for the rest of it.
All right, constitutional attorney Jenna Ellis, is always great to have you in. Thanks so much for your analysis today.
Thanks.